The gold mark, that of the sovereign, the aspect of conjuration, said to be possessed by those who excel in their nobility, confidence, charisma, and fortitude, but also attributed to excessive grandeur, pomp, and arrogance, the rarest of Ashbond colors. Gold-marked are said to be destined to ascend to great heights or die trying. Living with high expectations means weight upon them, and many with this bond find their shoulders unable to bear the burden. It is said that gold and black marked work extremely well together, and have been known to manipulate red to do their bidding. That which they, in their grand, flourishing greatness, could not be bothered to do themselves. Welcome, travelers, to the Dragonleaf, the TOs where tales are told. We're so excited you guys are enjoying the videos, and as we see everything continue to grow, we're super giddy and bubbly about all of it. It's so fun. We hope to continue and grow with everybody and bring out more stories. If you like the content, feel free to leave a like in the tip jar and subscribe to our weekly tales. Leave a comment in the suggestion box to tell us how well we did or how well we did not. Thanks for listening, and without further ado, it's time to open up shop. Yay!
Hello! It was so wholesome this week, and I don't have anything funny to say about it.
I know what rabbits are, guys.
Last week.
All right, you need to say it again.
He still doesn't know what rabbits are, guys. Trust me.
I like the end bit where you're like, tell us how well we did and how well we did not. It's like, you did a terribly good job. It's like what I always imagine.
God, you sucked so good this time.
Yes.
You did a natural one so good.
Yeah, like,
That one's, sometimes they'll lead to better stories in the long run.
Ooh, so very many. Last time. The Deviants continued their day within the art fair, growing exceedingly grand as time went on. Each interacting with their own stories, and as things escalated, JoJo met with her mother, one who is supposed to be gone, Vincent with their strange, elvish individual Carson, Killian with her broodmates, one of which is supposed to be gone, and Matilda with a raven-haired woman, who they have exchanged glances of potential sexual conflict? Who knows? Didn't seem like it. Because as Matilda refused to release her book, the woman attacked and retrieved the book as Matilda slowly loses consciousness, but struggles to hold on to life. The Deviants find her hidden away from the festivities, and as she is healed and awakens, they all awaken from this strange dream. Meeting with Lavos at the family home, they discuss these hints that this trip to the deep ethereal gave them towards their rank breaks. Killian learned that Killig seems to be the crux and is involved in alchemy. JoJo learned that a game at Cisco's is the next step towards her advancement. Vincent leaned on his connections to learn that an assassin named Emir Dillon is targeting him, and Matilda learned that this woman is willing to do anything she can to get her hands on that book. As they take to the park once more, they meet with Alexei, Lily, and a young gopher named Bean who attempts to indenture himself to their servitude, as Matilda spots the woman at a tavern across the stone courtyard. We now find ourselves jumping back in. Matilda, we will begin with you. Who is currently around? I imagine everybody. And in this instant, too, as you were kind of watching, in the opposite direction, Lavos begins to approach with a small box.
Is there who's next to me? Is there how far apart are we? Is my question.
I think we're all standing together. It's only been like a minute since the scene ended. I can't see us separating right away. Yeah. Bean ran off.
I try to subtly elbow someone who's next to me. Kind of gesture in the direction of the board. The person's reading their newspaper.
Roll a d4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who do I boop?
Yeah.
I'll be 1. Candace will be 2. Killian will be 3.
Tell you what. Roll a d5.
Oh.
Wait. How? Well, you can do /R d5 and it will work.
Oh, really?
Or a d4 plus 1.
Okay, I did d4 plus 1.
So 3?
3? Okay. That is... I should have had this prepared. I just wanted you guys to be... that's actually you. You were in this initiative order. It is...
Oh.
It is JoJo.
Okay. I'd lightly nudge JoJo. And kind of point my nose in the direction of the person reading the newspaper. That's her.
Are we gonna go up to her or just wait?
Don't know what the best course of action is. She did try to stab me, so I'm not sure if we should wait or approach.
Well, again, we established that it's not always
mean,
going to happen, but
She didn't try to stab me. She actually did stab me. She slit my throat. So I don't know if we really want to.
Yeah.
Let's.
send her a message to you and get her to come over to us if you want.
Well, let's see what Lavos has in this box that's coming this way first.
Oh, and Vincent will turn and look.
Lavos
A
approaches.
little bit less than a stage, so I don't mind, I guess.
Hi, everyone. Glad to see we're all together in one piece. Made the
Only been a
copies.
couple hours.
He hands you the small box and pops it open. You see about 200 photocopies of your drawing.
Oh, thank you. Actually, Vincent will turn over. Alexi is probably off to the side, like stretching and getting ready to stand still for the next 20 minutes. I'll send him a message. Dear, do you mind coming over? Just tell Lily to wait off to the side. More business.
Alexei stands up and turns to Lily, and as they're both kind of doing their early stretches, you see them talk to each other briefly, and he points back, and you can hear it's just like, he's just brief mumbles as he kind of hobbles his way over.
Sorry to bring any business into today, because I know it was supposed to be our day off, but he'll reach into the box and take out a piece of paper. We actually have a favor to ask of you. Well, I do anyways. So our dear little Killian here, she'll look down, he'll look down towards her. One of her broodmates seems to have gone missing.
Oh, goodness. All right. I can absolutely help. How do you need me?
Is there any way you can... He'll look in the box. We have a couple copies here. Maybe spread it around to the gods in the other districts. Just keep an eye out if anyone sees this individual.
You mentioned the Windwalkers. You think they would help out with something like this?
We should probably keep a couple of pictures on hand for them.
I can... We should probably keep this somewhat... This is difficult. There's a lot of people within the guard of the city who are less kind towards the Dungeonborn.
Yeah.
If we post this up, it might be misconstrued for some kind of wanted poster.
Which the Windwalkers would likely not have that information, right?
Windwalkers might be a better chance. There's a lot in this organization that's I'm trying to change. I'm not exactly a general, so.
If you have any friends who he'll smile at and like-minded like you, maybe just get the word around and show them the picture.
Give me 15. I think I know a solid little connection. And
Don't hand him the poster.
he takes a fair chunk. He says, actually, just double that. Give me here. Let me just take a small stack. He takes like a quarter of them. He begins to roll it up. He says, you want me to go do this now?
No, you can do it after this. I would prefer you here with your fiance. I wouldn't want her to get lonely. He'll smirk at him.
He smiles. He's like, she's lovely, isn't she? Wonderful
Of
person.
course, dear. Killian, though, where do you want this information to go? Like, if he figures out or anyone sees this individual, do you want them to apprehend them, or?
I mean, if they see them, yeah, if they can. I mean, actually, no. Don't like grab them or anything. If they see them and they're okay, then that's good. And then wherever they do see them, we can investigate further. I'm more concerned with their safety than the fact that they're missing, if that makes sense.
He brings himself down to eye level and just like puts an arm on his knee and says, I'm going to do everything I can to help you find your friend, okay?
Thank you.
All right.
You can trust Alexi, dear. He's quite resourceful and he's someone you can trust.
Understood.
I feel like standing still is now less interesting. I tell you what, give me an hour. I'll be back.
I guess I'll have to pose with your beautiful fiance. Vincent will turn around. Lily, dear, and he'll walk off.
You wanna Matilda, do you want to go say hi to this woman? I'll be right behind you if you want. Whatever, if you're comfortable with it.
Lavos approaches and he says, "Oh, you seen her?"
Yeah, she'll
Yes.
like move her chin point towards across the street.
He doesn't like change his look at all. You just hear like this from
No!
underneath as a small raven kind of encircles around his feet and just stands. Right, yeah. Okay. Well, tell you what. If you need me to, I can blast her fucking head off.
No. No.
Just give me what signed. Well, you know, let's say theoretically, I were to blast her head off. What symbol or signal would you give me, purely theoretically?
Falling on the ground bleeding? Maybe? I don't know.
It seems that symbol was a little too late.
You get like a message from Vincent as he's standing like 20 feet away. Safe words usually work for me.
Oh. Okay. What should our safe word be?
Something you would absolutely not say by accident and get her head blown off. I mean, obviously I don't give a shit about her, but like if you need her to rank break, then she gets killed, you might be stuck at rank 1 forever.
Yeah. I'd say the safe word should be marshmallows, because I will never say that. Ever. I don't like them.
All right, I'll keep that in mind, and I'll keep my ears out. I'm on Overwatch now, so you'll be fine.
You're all okay with me going?
Yeah,
I got your back.
you got your back. Ah, hey.
That's
He
the
punches
thing
him
I
really
said.
quickly.
That was fast and hard. You punch his arm. He's like squishy, but when you pull your hand back, it's like it's not squishy like he's made of like rubber or anything. But you hit him and it's just like dad body. You pull your hand back and it actually hurts.
It hurts me.
Your hand hurts a little bit. It's just a sting. You didn't take 70 bludgeoning damage. All right, yeah, don't worry. He takes the raven and kind of just like puts it on his shoulder. You look at it and it's got this like faint, it looks like a normal raven, but in the feathers you can almost see this like stardust, as though you could see through it with enough investigation.
So my question, is she sitting with someone?
She's sitting in a tavern. There's 3 people there total, but she is at a table on her own. The other 2 patrons are kind of just sitting slumped over.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I am just checking. So my question is that if I was to cast Hex on someone, is that like something that's like very visible?
All spell casting is pretty visible. Depending on the amount of components, you can attempt to obscure spell casting, but like verbal components are a reverberation of the weave. They're incredibly loud. Somatic components like are typically followed with something visible, which can be through player favor or flavor. Be like if you wave your hand, you get like sigils that appear in the air, or you can just do incredibly like gesturous movements. And material components are pretty easy to hide. However, Hex has all 3, so it's going to be nearly impossible for you to hide.
But it's 90 feet range.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I'm not trying to hide the fact that I'm spellcasting it. I'm trying to see if it's visible on the person.
One thing that Adrian's told me, if you don't cast a spell subtly and it's concentration, they can tell you're concentrating on a spell if you walk up to them.
There's just some kind of perceivable circumstance just to make it so that that you, like you guys and enemies can kind of no, nor would they necessarily be like, oh, this is Hex, or even if you're concentrating on a spell, you could just be muttering under your breath, or there could be like some faint wind flows around you. For character flavor, it could be like feathers. A bird flies by every now and birds are drawn to you while you're concentrating, stuff like that.
Black.
Yeah. It could be something that spellcasters might be able to figure out, but not something that people are like, oi, spell right here, concentrating. Like, that's not something that happens. In this instance, from the distance, you could try and obscure your verbal component and see if anybody might notice.
Okay. But there's no like visible thing. Like if someone's hexed, they won't like know. They're not looking at themselves. They're not like, I don't know, smoking or like they found their falling on them or like.
No. Detect magic might give away a brief enchantment aura, but other that no, typically people wouldn't be able to see.
Okay, cool. Then I'm gonna try and cast hex on them before I go over there.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. In this case, I think it could be stealth, or you're not trying to deceive them. You're trying to hide yourself. Yes. So stealth, please.
Stealth. Okay.
What are you cursing? Which stat?
Dex.
Not charisma.
Nice. Good call.
No, because they hit me with a dagger.
Well, it only affects ability checks though, not attack rolls.
Yeah, it doesn't affect attack rolls or saving throws.
Mm.
So it's just abilities of her. So like, wisdom
If you
would
wanted to
probably be the
talk
best
worse.
one. Because if she tries to insight
Well, I don't-
you or do anything.
You hex her dexterity, and you're just like, cartwheel away from this bitch.
So yeah, because I'll do her wisdom because I want her insight to be shit.
Wisdom.
Does
Okay.
it affect ability checks, right?
Yes.
All of
Okay,
them.
okay.
Wisdom's a
Alright,
very
and
good
then-
choice.
And then what did you want me to do a roll? Sorry?
Stealth.
Stealth? Okay.
Which do it with
Oh.
the blind roll, which is the ninja.
The ninja. Okay, and the stealth.
Get out of here, ninja. Get out of here,
Oh,
ninja.
I'm guiding myself.
Mm-hmm.
Which is also a
Guidance
spell.
would also be a spell that is
Oh wait, never mind. I can't.
concentration.
Rude.
I don't know how that would work if you're casting a concentration spell.
Yeah, no, I can't. That makes
So I would
Spell.
say guidance into another concentration spell would end your guidance, but only after the other spell has been cast. In this instance, I would allow guidance to break concentration and still have the effects of guidance.
Yeah, but she's trying to hide a spell cast by casting another spell.
That would
What?
be hard.
Yeah, I
you
know.
would
That's
have
why
to-
I'm like, no,
That's funny.
it's okay. It's okay. I tried.
So, okay. You begin to cast the spell. You attempt to, like, muffle yourself, and moving into the area, Lavos kind of, like, watching all of this occur
90
is just
feet.
like, ow! Screams out loud and holds onto his leg. Oh, Jojo, you didn't even punch me in the leg. What's going on? Charlie horse.
Phantom legs.
I hate those. He begins to move away, like just hobbling away from, lays down on the grass. The raven like turned and faced towards the tavern. People like kind of just, most of the people over at the tavern pay no attention. People in the park are just like, oh, okay, and go about their business. You begin to cast the spell, and when it comes to fruition, nothing seems to have changed over at the tavern.
Also didn't go through.
The spell goes through.
Okay.
There doesn't seem to be any demeanor change in the raven.
Okay. I do like to think that the way that you can tell that I'm concentrating is like my glasses do like that weird anime thing where it's just like it's like ching.
Ding.
Yeah, every once in a while.
I've come up with a new recipe.
every like 2 to 3 minutes, it's like shushing,
Yeah.
shushing.
That's what I picture. And
Then if you're not wearing glasses for some reason, it's just your eyes doing that.
yeah, pretty much, yeah. Yeah, full stamp. That's what happens. Cool. Stamp of approval. All right. Now that they are hexed, I will make my way into the tavern. I'm not gonna hide the fact that I'm going in there. I'm just gonna but I'm gonna make it look like I don't know that they're there.
So just
While
to
also keeping an eye on them. So I don't know how that's gonna work, but
okay,
I'm
so
gonna
you are
try.
confirming you are going past them into the tavern.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and roll, in this case, deception
Well,
to
actually,
mask your.
hold on. Like, can I is there like a fence around where because like there's some seating areas that you have to go inside the building in order to get to, or is this just like out and about? Like I could just pull up a chair and sit the fuck down. Like what is the?
You're currently looking at an exterior patio covered by wood shingle. There is a small kind of wooden fence that encloses this area, and it's just 2 steps leading up towards the entrance. Relatively old-looking tavern, kind of like wood that's been kind of peeling away. The paint is long since gone. But you can absolutely like step up and into this area and kind of sit down with her, or in the area, or enter the tavern.
That's what I want to do. I want to sit with her if that's not like blocked.
Okay, Jojo, do you go with her?
No, I think because Lavo said he was like watching and basically he has a sniper aim on her. I'm just letting Matilda do her thing.
All right. You remain with Lavos. You walk up and you sit next to the
I
woman
felt
who
him stretch out his leg.
You actually probably go a little bit like into it, and he's like, all right, it's good now. You sit down, Matilda, and she kind of looks around for a brief moment. It's just like, there are other tables.
I pull out one of the fake copies of the book in my bag. Matilda doesn't know this, but I want the audience to know it's pretty much just a smut book. She painted the cover blue. I don't know, but I laughed when I thought about it, but I put the book out on the table. You've been staring at me a lot, and I think that you want something to do with my book.
I'm gonna roll perception with Hex against it.
Yeah, disadvantage.
Wisdom was a great choice.
Too bad! Do really bad!
She looks at it and she's just like, you see like literally like a spike as though a headache just burns through her, and she like picks up the book and looks at it. She looks at you for a moment and she's like, what is this? Why are you giving me this? She's looking at you incredibly suspiciously.
No, I would like to work with you. I can't necessarily give it to you, but I also understand you might want the information inside, and I'd like to propose maybe, I don't know, what is it called? A study group? We could look at it together and figure out what's going on inside.
She like shirks back for a moment and looks at you, and her eyes are just reeling back and forth to be like, who told you? And she opens the book and looks in it, and is immediately just like closes it again, places it on the table and slides it forward, and she's like, you mock me now?
No. What's in that one? I honestly don't know.
She opens it and kind of looks at you and then closes it, slides it forward, and she says, positions.
Sorry. Okay. Okay, Matilda. Tamara finds it hilarious. Matilda does not understand. Okay.
She leans back. She looks at you for a moment. Who told you?
I guessed. There's lots of people that want to look at my book. You've
Roll
also been,
Sorry, go.
You've also been following me a lot and staring.
Roll deception. You are still obscuring information.
Well, she also lied.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
yes.
wait. No, whoops. No.
Reveal
I
it,
don't-
Adrian.
What was it?
15.
Okay.
She
Oh.
looks at you, and once again, it's just like begins like cold sweat over her forehead. And she just,
I want to work with you.
her eyes begin to tear up.
Please.
Can I see the book? The real one?
Yes. Only if you put all your weapons away and you promise that we're going to work together.
You're oddly well informed. She pulls out a dagger, spins it around and places it down. You see there's a gemstone in the hilt of the dagger. Has this kind of like blackish hue to it. And she places it down, but she places one finger down on the dagger before sliding it into the center of the table and letting go of it. She's still wearing that like amulet that you recognize. You can see her bond.
We're
She-
neighbors.
I know. Been to your home. I've also been to your parents' homes.
Yeah, I know. Are you the reason why that thing came to life and tried to eat me?
I don't know anything about whatever that is.
Do I believe her?
Roll insight. She's very guarded at current, and she's kind of sussing out the situation, but you don't really detect any hostility or any subterfuge in her statements. She looks at you and she says, you see she kind of wipes away that tear for a moment, says, how do you know these creatures? How do you know anything that's going on? Are they onto me? Want to work together? Are you betraying them?
What creatures? All I know is that I was working in the morgue and one of the bodies came back to life and tried to attack me. And I think Lavo saved me, so I was wondering if maybe you were related to that. Sometimes I have hypotheses and they're wrong, and that is okay. That is a part of research.
If they sent a ghoul to kill you, then you must not be a part of them, or they want you gone. Did you hand her the book? I may have spaced.
No, I take out the real one and I'm holding it. I have not put it down on the table yet. I don't know who you are, and you have a knife. I think you have more than one, if I'm going to be honest.
I have... Oh, you're right, sorry. Pulls out knitting needles and places them down. Pulls out a small kit from a pack on her hips and opens it, and it's a sewing kit. More needles, places it down, slides it forward. Pulls out literally just a small pouch of needles, places it down, slides it forward.
Oh, okay. I pull out Penny and the really scary long pins that go inside Penny, and I rummage around and there's like some teeth, and I'm like, oh, I don't want those. And I like go through and I pull out all my sharp things.
Me and Lavos are just like, I'm like, are they just showing off their pin collections? What's going on?
Oh, like they're comparing their pin collection. Oh, no, there's teeth.
Oh, they're comparing length.
Hey, have you seen a book go missing from the library lately? The camera pulls back.
And so oh yeah, and I also have a couple daggers on my person, so I take those out too. And I'm like, oh, I forgot about these, because Matilda never uses them. And she puts them in the file. So all of our sharp stuff is off of us now.
Nods. You see like some of the people who are at the tavern turn around and see that and just like begin to leave. A half-orcish server comes up to you, and as he's wearing a tabard, like a knight's tabard, approaches and says, "Excuse me, ma'ams, if you would kindly not place weapons on the table.
Oh.
It is too early for me to have to ask you to go further outside."
Oh, well, wait, can we put them under the table? We're not trying to, we just wanted to...
That's worse. That's worse.
Oh.
Now, then they'd be hidden and easily accessible.
Oh.
She's like, she just like pulls a little bag out from the side, or not a little bag, a small pack that she had next to her, and it's just like, throw it all in the bag, set it aside.
Yeah, okay, put your stuff in your bag, I'll put my stuff in mine, and then we'll put the bags, like, somewhere where we both can see them.
He's like, the orc is watching you guys, and is like, this seems tense. Would you like anything to eat or drink?
I would like a glass of water, please. I think that we're trying to figure out the protocols for a future meeting, so it only looks tense. I mean, maybe she's tense.
She is
anyway.
tense.
Oh, well. We'll deal with that later. We'll deal with that later.
Another cocktail. Do you want marshmallows on this one? Yes. Okay.
Ew.
3 syrup, please. That's a lot. Turns and leaves. Don't fucking judge me. Turns and leaves. Listen. Okay. I didn't expect any of this to go well. And I was honestly afraid.
I didn't really expect anything. You've been kind of staring at me, so I wasn't really sure what you wanted.
Yes. You can see there's like a look of just contemplation in her face. She says, to cut to the point, this book that you have, It's a sacred text. In a way. It's connected to a fury. And if I could see the cover, I could potentially read it. I spent a lot of time trying to find this, and I guess by extension you. They have my brother.
Oh.
There's a group that follows this fury within the city, and they've been at work.
I show the book that clearly has been painted on the cover.
Is this the real one or another fake one?
Yeah, the real one.
We haven't gotten this individual's name, just out of curiosity, right?
No, not yet.
Okay.
She looks at it and kind of like just in broken, like, yeah, just give me a moment. I'm not feeling very well. Zamayatel. The moment she says that name, you feel the book send a shiver directly through you.
Oh. That was uncomfortable.
Are you all right?
I don't know. Say another word. Let's test out the hypothesis.
Snickle Fritz. Nothing happens.
Oh. No, what are the words in the book, silly?
Oh, it's just the name on the cover. Zamayatel, once again.
Oh, I try and saying it. What happens if I say it?
The entire area around you shudders briefly. The book kind of begins to shake, and the table itself begins to reverberate from it.
Oh!
All right, I seem to have hit a mark.
I try to say it quieter. Does it change anything?
It's just like a...
Someone cranked the volume down, but it's still as shaky as it was before.
It responds to volume. Okay, interesting. Need your help with this book. So if you help me, I think I could help you. It depends. I don't understand why your brother is taken or what's going on there, but I will see what I can do.
She leans forward and she pulls out the amulet, keeps it in her hand, and kind of drops it down so you can see it. And she says, he was an engineer. He's an engineer of Gon's Engineering Guild, the Silver Cog. And he was prolific. He was prodigious. He had such a future ahead of him. But he started meeting with these people, and they began to connect. He's been missing, and it's been quite a while now.
What?
Half
Your
a year
name?
or more. My name is Morgan Shale.
What's your brother's name?
His name is Delphi. I've searched and searched, and I've begun to uncover just little pieces. It seems like there's more than just this book. Connect back to the deity in question. She avoids saying the name. Just like pulls out a small bundle of silver and places it down, and is like, I don't have much. I'm happy, very happy that you're willing to work together on this. This went a lot better than I ever would have expected. People typically don't offer aid for nothing. I have gold. But for the most part, if we manage to find my brother, and I want to dismantle this whole fucking thing, and you can just keep whatever, anything.
I would say hold on to the money for now, and we can use it if it's needed for when we work together to study.
Halfway through your statement, she's like, that's a good idea. Like, takes the gold off the table, puts it like back just in a small pouch, or puts the small pouch back on her waist. The only thing, book for a book, I suppose. She goes down to grab that pack that has all the weapons in it, and she's like, I have to grab something. Okay. pulls out a small notebook and places it down. It's like, looks like it's had years of wear, and she opens it, and it's like these notes and these blueprints, and she's like, most of this I imagine is classified, but my brother should have thought of that before he joined a cult. And continues flipping through the pages until eventually on one of the pages, it's just a symbol. It looks like the bottom of a sun that is just being eclipsed. You can see just this like bottom facing crescent of burning sun and a single line drawn straight down. Just a incredibly simple sigil. At the very base of it, there is a solid white circle. It says, she flips the page and it's more of that and more and more. The entire book scrawled like mad ramblings. This was my only hint.
Okay.
When I saw your book, and she flips to the last page, where there's just like these brief and broken runes that you can see were a desperate attempt to write the name on your book that was failed. And she says, I recognized this instantly. This has something to do with you and something to do with that book. I asked around about the symbol before, but they burned down my house. And I assume thought I was in it because the attack stopped after that.
Are you safe?
I doubt it. Are any of us?
Well, yeah, but I don't want to be working with you and then all of a sudden you're not much help to me if you're a charred corpse, to be honest.
I live in my family home now, and I don't think anyone would threaten the Grim Reaper.
I don't really want money. I think we could probably build a relationship or favors, maybe, because we're neighbors.
Favors for neighbors, I like that.
You think?
I'm happily. I don't know who I can trust. And I mean, it would be, do you have something planned? Like, what is this?
What do you mean?
I guess this is just very outside of the realm of, this is very reasonable, I suppose. Not many people are like, I'll help you, destroy an entire cult.
Well, help me get information. So, I mean, it is still a transaction, regardless of whether or not there's funds. And my ulterior motives might not harm you, but they do include you.
Good. I'm thank you for letting me know. That eases me a bit.
Yeah, I don't intend harm to you at the moment.
Roll persuasion.
Hey, go Matilda!
Nice. She looks at you and she seems at ease from your statements. She says, so are you a cleric? Or...
No. The reason why this is such a shock is I didn't expect to be a warlock of this patron. Kind of already had a few lined up. So this is as much a surprise to me as it probably is to anyone else that has known me as to who my patron is. But not a lot of people know me.
She leans down towards the book and says, it's my tell. A brief jolt, almost like an aggressive one, seemingly like pointed at her side of the table. And she like leans back for a moment and says, I'm a warlock as well. Although, to be fair, I don't know who my patron is. Every now and then they speak to me, but it's mostly in ramblings.
What did they say?
Oh, things like, you must dance. And I don't. But for the most part, they haven't taken my powers away, which is nice.
Take it from me. Sometimes it's a good idea to listen to the voices in your head. Gotta try and pick the best moment, though. So if they say dance and it's not going to hurt anybody, I'd say dance. It'll show them that you're listening.
And I might posit as well that it's important to look into the concept of why they would ask something like this. Because not but moments later I did see a small gaggle of guards around the corner, and I shudder to think what might have happened if they had seen a woman dancing drunkenly in the street. I don't know.
Well, it depends on how bad you dance.
Not very well. She leans and just whispers and smiles. But if are you willing to part with the book? I can meet you somewhere. We can look over it and see what we can discern.
We will convene at a neutral location, or I will talk to my other family members and see what they think would be the best. But I extend my hand. My name is Matilda Farrow. It's very nice to meet you.
Nice to officially meet you. Morgan Shale. Takes your hands, takes your hand, gives it a single shake. The orc comes back and is just like, incredibly tense. Places the drink down, slides it forward, looks at it. It's just like literally piled with sugar. Like, just covered. Thank you. The orc just looks at the rest of the patrons who've like pretty much left, and he's like, can you get out? Something is odd happening here. I'm very intuitive.
I wave at my family that I know we're watching. And I get my stuff and we get ready to
Wait,
leave.
if you have more customers, you can stay.
And for maybe later, we're working at the festival right now.
Oh.
There'll probably be reasons why you get customers later.
Well, I won't keep you. And he like stands back. Goes inside and is like, prepare for the horde. And like closes the door behind him. Everyone inside is like, yeah. You can feel this just air move through.
Kids coming to this bar.
Their parents afterwards, though. Whoa.
Yeah, or during.
Or during.
Yeah.
You guys slowly gather
100%.
back together. Morgan comes with you, Matilda.
Yeah.
You guys kind of dish out the items that you had previously thrown in a collective bag and collect all together.
Vincent's over with Lily. He inquired to her if there's anything that she would have loved to see Alexi in to make him look more in the part, like maybe a bigger, better knight's armor or something like that. She explains that he had to go away, so I'm going to be his fill-in.
Did you say that? Oh, sorry. You going?
I was just going to say, Lily's like, that changes the narrative a bit. Maybe we can play the princess and the we can pull from Alexei, not to make him jealous, but maybe you and I are lovers together in the background and the night has gone away and we must fight these urges. They're so bad. But I have an idea. And she begins to move towards like the spot where she would wait.
As he's like listening to her ideas and they reach like the podium area where they're supposed to like sit up and get into their pose. How about this, Dio? And he'll snap his fingers and he's going to cast Disguise Self on him. And he's going to be Vincent, but just like he's wearing like just like a prince's outfit.
Oh, yeah.
He looks really like
debonair.
There's skin showing where there probably shouldn't be skin showing. And like he's just like the sexy devil that the princess would fall for from the night, from the godly knight in the background kind of thing.
She looks up and down at you and she's like, the plot thickens, you were a prince all along. And continues with this narrative in her mind.
Did you say that Morgan Shale came with Matilda to where the rest of the family was? Okay.
Yes. At this point, I think they probably would have reached there. Was that the question you were going to ask?
Yes. And I was going to say, Jojo says to Matilda, a real good, while giving like Morgan Shale fucking dagger eyes.
Yeah. She's going to help me with the book. There's people that are trying to hurt her. And she's our neighbor, so that means I think we have to help, right? Neighbors, that's what neighbors do.
Mm-hmm.
As she approaches, it's like, hello. Yeah, I hear that you're going to help us disband a cult.
If that's what Matilda says that we're doing, then I guess so.
It's nice to meet you. My name's Morgan. Reaches a hand out. Jojo.
What if?
Looks down
What if
toward
the cult
Killian.
was on? What if the cult had different leadership?
It's still a cult, I imagine.
Okay.
I don't know. It's not. Do you want a cult? This seems problematic. Originally, I thought this would be like a, hey, let's destroy the cult thing. No? Okay.
No, I know. No.
But to be honest, as long as we get my brother back, frankly, I don't give much of a fuck about anyone else.
Yeah.
It's,
Anyway, sorry, Killian. You go ahead.
nice to meet you. I may have given away too much of my personality right away. Morgan. She reaches a hand down.
Yeah, take it slowly. Or you're
Killian, upon all this like cult discussion, is like, what's the difference between, like, what makes a cult a bad thing versus a good thing?
Word of mouth.
Exploitation.
Okay.
That was
Two very different answers.
It was just like, it's it's just how you look.
Branding.
It's marketing.
Yeah, branding. Yeah, pretty much.
Their symbols are usually spikier. She looks towards all of you, and then Lavos kind of looks on, just hands crossed, and brings himself over. Right, it's a fine thing meeting you here. Let's go over some of the important bits. Let's not try and keep anything out, shall we? And then she kind of just looking around at the center of the park, she's like, I suppose this is as good a place as any, hide in plain sight. And she goes over the information she had previously shared with Matilda. She says, I don't actually have very many leads, but I have been studying this ancient celestial language, and these runes, though it might take some time, I might be able to decipher some of this book.
Was your brother working on the airship?
Yeah, I suppose that is pretty much the most common knowledge secret in the world. Yes, the latest Skyrunner, I believe it's called the Stargazer.
I think it's Skyrunner.
Skyrunner is the type of, like, you can get a sloop or a cutter. They're all Skyrunners. I don't have like 20,000 gold pieces to buy myself a helicopter, but I would have one if I could. Those things are quite amazing. My brother's spoken at length about them.
Do you think that's connected, or is it just a cult thing on the side?
I feel like it's connected in a way. There's got to be, like, he seemed to have been targeted at the very least. But he just disappeared one day, took his stuff and left.
I think a place that we could start, we could get Jaeger to show us where he found the book.
Yeah, Eldath is interested in this book too.
He said it was at a some ruins. Which direction of the city was it?
Matilda remembers that it was south of Amaranth.
Yeah. I open my mouth and that comes out.
Yeah. I mean, we could at least get his directions. But I feel like Jaeger would come with us. You know, he's such a good guy.
Is he trustworthy? You receive an image just of him standing next to Vincent, like straddling around the back as he looks over towards you, and then one of those roses dissipates.
Wait, what?
And then the vision of him fades away.
A backpack on Vincent? Wait.
Yeah, basically. It's like a bad Harlequin novel kind of pose.
Oh my god. Did the goat lady say she'd help me with the book too?
Yes, she said she would act as the interpreter for the words while Eldath is indisposed.
Yes, Eldath can't help right now, but this really nice goat lady priestess thing said she'd help too. So I think if we all put our heads together, we could do a lot of good work.
A goat woman. That doesn't have anything to do with Baphomet, does it?
No, No, she's a priestess for Eldath.
Well,
Okay.
she's blessed by Eldath, is what we were told.
Oh,
I don't know,
well.
that's the same thing. I don't know.
That's a good place to start. That's definitely something that we can latch onto. I've already got more leads in the last 20 minutes than the last few years. But all that studying has come to a head, I think.
How long has he
also-
been missing?
Well, actually, that was a bit of an overstatement. It's been about a half a year.
I'll also teach up your research skills. They seem to be lacking.
It's hard to find information on a lost language. Finding anything is impressive. How many books on forgotten languages do you own?
I don't own them. My parents do.
That's a valuable resource. We can use that.
I don't think it's any languages we will need, though.
Well, we never know. But these creatures, these celestial furies, in my studies I've found that there's at least 4 of them, maybe more. These creatures were, as far as I can tell, previously angels who had fallen and have retained much of both of their celestial and their demonic patronage. Of this, all I know is this cult operates. I don't know the size of it. I don't know how strong or how weak they might be. I know they have access to fire. That narrows it down to everybody.
Yeah, that's not. That's not.
Good detective work.
Thank you. Takes it earnestly because she is still hexed.
You said that he disappeared and all of his stuff?
I got a note from the engineering guild as his next of kin saying that he was not showing up. Which is not exact. There's a lot of paperwork to sign to join into the Silver Cogs, so that is odd. And after a bit of looking into it, I discovered the symbol and his notebook, and have been trying desperately to find it out. After the first few weeks, I thought maybe he would show up again. He's in his late 20s, similar to me.
Was he bound?
He was. He was an artisan.
Hmm.
Oh, when you've been researching, have you found other people with similar stories? Their loved ones disappearing?
I have. I've checked with some of the families of those who might have known something about this, but it doesn't... I didn't see any reason or rhyme. They were humans, elves, not elves, half-elves, dwarves, halflings, many humans. Did not seem to be too many. I didn't notice any tieflings. She says, looking back towards Vincent.
Do you think ours are related?
Perhaps. Each one said
Killian?
that they had begun acting strangely only a few days before going missing.
I mean, it could be. I don't know.
Any
If-
monstrous races?
None as of yet, but are you saying that there was some... Is this happening to you as well?
The unfortunate thing is that a lot of people won't report monstrous races going missing because not a lot of them are after or accounted for. I'm sorry, Killian. I'm not saying this to be a jerk.
No, no, that's the whole problem. We don't know where he is because he doesn't do anything. He doesn't spend time anywhere.
Yeah. So no one will look twice if a goblin goes missing, and if someone was like you were to come and say, hey, they wouldn't even take your claim seriously. Which is not okay.
No, it isn't. I'm sorry, if there's... That might be a place to start as well. Have you searched around the area, tried to discern any kind of clues? I think there's actually quite a lot to act on here for now.
Which area?
Your friend's abode.
It's a pretty sparse area. No one saw him leaving. We're getting we're contacting some people to see if they saw him recently, but I'm stuck. I don't know where to look.
I understand. For now, Matilda, if you're able to copy some of the text from the book, I can begin to decipher it. I think that's probably the best use of my time. And for the rest of you as well, I'll extend the same courtesy that I don't have much by way of gold, but I do have a cult following me. If we destroy it, you can have anything that they have. I just want my brother back.
Vincent tells Lily to wait. This will be like during their conversation, and he'll go back over to the group.
The dragon has been watching and is like, "Oh, come on! I've been waiting!" As you turn and leave, and he's like, "I was so excited."
I'll be back in 2 minutes, hon.
Lily begins to pose for him alone, and he's just like, "Oh, my talent."
Oh, the dragon.
Vincent walks over in his like demonic prince form. Somewhat risque outfit. It's not that risque. It's just like elegant and cut in a certain manner that's really cool. Anyways, he walks over. So are you guys free to do art now, or what's going on?
We're just about to.
Who is this?
This is Morgan.
Morgan. She reached like, you are. Who is this? I didn't expect the. This is Vincent,
this is Vincent. Yes.
Does it seem like she knows who he is?
She does seem to have done her research.
Well, if you know who I am already, Morgan, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Absolute pleasure. It seems like we'll be joining hands for the near future.
He'll look towards Matilda and he'll look back towards Morgan, just kind of inciting the situation passively and seeing that no one's being hostile towards her.
How do we get a hold of you is my one question. And also, what if your brother is very dead? I cannot guarantee you that nothing bad has happened to him. I don't want to assume that, but at the same time, we have to be realistic. They have been gone for 6 months.
Then that's the end of it, I guess.
Sometimes knowing is better than not knowing.
Yes, I agree.
It's not impossible, but someone of his station is useful. Let's just kind of hold on to that hope.
Yeah, I apologize for making you feel sad. I wanted to make sure that we were understood.
I understand.
Well, the air here seems a little less chummy than it was 5 minutes ago. So why don't we all take a seat and express our inner feelings? Maybe it'll help us a little bit. He'll gesture towards the thing.
We want to finish this fair, this very important fair, and then go check on Kitlig's.
I sense a little bit of sarcasm from you.
No, not at all.
Jojo, you're a horrible liar.
I know. And then we'll go check out Killig's place. Or maybe stop by the Windwalkers.
Do we want to check out Killig's place? Or do we want to go to the Windwalkers and then go talk to my pom-pom? Because we wanted to go talk to them, right?
Is there any reason why we need to go to Killig's place?
That's what I was wondering.
I don't think there's any clues there.
You've looked it up and down, and there really is barely anywhere to check.
Okay.
And Killig doesn't necessarily frequent anywhere in the Stackhouses particularly either. Like if Yago went missing, you'd be like, let's check his workshop. Let's check his the even just the tannery that you guys have there. Like there's so many places, but Killig's just a big question mark.
We could also go visit Jaeger or Talana and see if they can help us with the tomb.
Well, I find people bond better over cooperative play.
Okay, great. What's our assignment?
You can do whatever you want, love. You can draw my lovely face or Lily's or both, or you can simply just draw whatever comes to mind. Or paint, or slap things in the air, whatever material means comes to you in the moment.
Okay, sure.
I think Bean shows up as well and just approaches you guys and is like, I've painted 3 children. I think that's worth a gold apiece. Do you want me to draw with you? As I can rouse up some interest. Do you want me to run around the street? Say, come by the fair.
Vincent will just put his hand on his shoulder and lead him back. Zia, don't think I'm going to shorthand you. I will pay you by the end of the day, but just he'll look over. Most of the kids are doing other things right now, right? It's still pretty early.
Yeah, it's pretty free form at this point.
If you get bored, you can always muse and paint on your own while you wait, but make sure you stick into your job well.
All right, I will paint posters. That seems productive. Then he moves over to the side and grabs one of like the free little boxes of paints and begins to sit down with an easel, flattening it on the grass, and just begins to kick his feet back and forth as he starts drawing. Gotta take my backpack off. Mom always said that. Then continues painting. The lot of you begin. Go ahead and roll a... Time is not of the essence here, so how do you feel like you guys are doing this art?
Again, you don't need to draw. Vincent will go back on the podium with Lily. Lexi said he'd be gone for an hour, so I feel like most of this will be done by the time he comes back.
I want to
change shifts then.
I want to try and do a strength-based painting.
Smash painting?
Or you just
Where it's
throw
like,
paint at it.
It's like
Yeah.
big expressive
Yours
lines.
is Jackson Pollock.
Yeah,
Jackson
exactly.
Pollock, very, very
Sweet.
Jackson Pollock-esque.
Strength. I imagine you are not proficient with painter's tools?
No.
Painter supplies without proficiency. And yeah. I want to see how your guys' art goes. I think you guys can just choose the stat you want to use here, and we can see how that goes.
It's real bad.
It's your first attempt. No one faults you, but people begin to watch that, and Morrigan's also just like, just like stabs into the paper and just begins to pull down with color.
I'm using like colors that don't. Like they're
Just
wet.
brown.
I'm using like red and green, and together they're just mixing into this nasty gray. And I like actually tear the canvas.
You punch a hole in it.
Yeah.
Killian just like starts just trying to like paint the scene of like the two figures, but I think starts to get like it's like a mix of absolute focus but also utter frustration because she can't get it perfect, and so like by the end of it it's like very clear that she's just like layered like 3 different types of paint over like most of the canvas to just like try to get like the right color and hasn't gotten it, and it just kind of looks, by the end of it, it's like the edges are all like completely empty, but like it's just like a purple and red and blue kind of like smear that should be Vincent, and then like kind of yellow just like kind of pulled around like the back, just like to be like the hair, but she didn't know how to do white for
A white
on white. So it's just like there's just like smears of like lighter paint around the edges where she tried to draw the dress, and it's not good looking, and she's pouting.
Matilda keeps looking up at Vincent and them doing their pose, like periodically. But when you look at her canvas, Matilda did what she did last time, where it's basically like
geometry shapes.
Yeah, fractals and symmetry, and like if spell research could be made into art, that's what she's done. And it's basically just like she uses her logic to make something look pretty, but uses it like math. She like does like a mathematical formula of like figure out how to like space it and like what. Not the colors so much. She just picks colors that she likes, and then she just makes the pattern do its thing. But you think she'd be painting them, but she's not. She just like looks at them. It's like she's enjoying their effort because they're doing it, but she's just doing her own thing. She's like
taking notes on like when every 10 minutes we change a position. You're just like, I guess that's how people hold each other. I'll take that.
Is that what Morgan meant by positions in that book?
Yeah, these are for children, so it's just like, you know, him down on one knee looking up at her, like they're very like fairy tale
positions. Matilda does keep that book to look at later because she's like, I wonder if they're similar positions. And then she's like, oh no.
I'd say, Killian, that sounds like a charisma check to me. And Matilda, that's int for sure. Killian, you can also argue intelligence if you wanted.
No, charisma's totally fine.
It's pretty good.
I ask you just so I can see if the dragon beats you guys.
Oh,
No.
You guys have your first nemesis because he doubled the highest score here.
Wow.
As he produces his painting, he just drops the brush and turns around and walks away. Hands up, leaves the entire park, and just hands still up, turns the corner and makes his way out.
You know what? Good for him. Good for him. He held on to his title even after the dream.
When does Alexi come back, do you think, at the end of this?
Yes, after you guys produce some very interesting paintings.
With just like side-eyeing him as he walks in, Vincent, while still in their pose, Vincent would like to insight his reaction to this.
I think he approaches and looks at everything going on and is just like, wow, these are incredibly expressive. And sees the two of you kind of in just prose as people are painting them, and he's just like, these are very descriptive, as he calls out towards you and Lily. And specific. Lily's like, I made a story, still in pose. It's like, I could tell.
She has a very vivid imagination, dear. You picked a good one.
That I did. Smiles and just kind of watches this.
Tag out, and we'll switch to the Demon Prince back to the normal night. And he'll just do a round and look at everyone's paintings. And even though, obviously, artistically, from like, or not artistically, but from like, Killian's just like, I'm upset because, I couldn't get the right thing. And Jojo's just like, it's just great. Like, Vincent thinks they're all pretty fucking cool.
Could, hey, Killian, could you mend my canvas?
Morgan's like, if you're doing that, mine as well.
Vincent would actually come over and he'd put a hand on Jojo's shoulder and be like, I don't think that's needed, dear. I think that
it's part of the art.
Same with you, Morgan. You'll take away from it, to be honest.
I like to think that Matilda's is like half done, but then she like really got into the math equation, so now there's just like math all at the bottom of her canvas. Like,
that's actually
like
also
one ring.
Yeah.
It's also very artistically cool. It's like scattered formula that become more and more focused as the painting continues.
Yeah.
Very neat.
Well, he'll look over at the rest of the party as we're gathering up after this. Alexi can probably take over from here. We can head out if you guys want to leave a little early. I have a fill-in for the face painting, so I don't really have to worry about that. But
I don't suppose anyone saw a procession of fancy researchers surrounded by guards, did you?
I didn't, Dia, but I wasn't really looking.
I was looking very, very hard in the beginning, and I did not see that. I think that we should probably go to your family member's store today.
Yeah, we can always hit that up tomorrow. I think that it is a lot less pressing than, I guess, the cult thing.
Your mother's important too, though, right?
Yeah, of course she is. I just don't think she's in town yet.
Morgan also says, though this is huge strides forward, we have to remember to remain calm and collected. We have to take things in stride. I know none of you are as invested in this as I am, but I should do it right. So I'm not running off to attack anybody at this moment. There might even be days or even weeks of planning. So I thank you all for this interest.
Will we draw attention if all of us just like walk into this thing, or should we keep things more separate? Where are we heading off to again? I didn't catch that part when I came over.
I thought we were going to go to my pom-pom's house or his place.
Sure.
Or their place.
I'd like to meet this famous pom-pom. You keep mentioning him, so my expectations are quite high.
You've met them.
No, I haven't.
Were we going to talk to Sylvia's group?
Oh,
The
yeah, let's
Windwalkers,
go
yeah.
do that first. Sorry, I
Do we
apologize.
know where they are?
The
Vincent's
Windwalkers
been around-
fence that you know. You've been literally to the Windwalker estate. In fact,
Yeah,
just only
Vincent's-
like a day ago.
I know what that is.
Okay.
Yeah, and he'll send a message. Alexi, I need to head out. There's some family business that came up. Do you think you can handle the rest of this? Should only be
Of
on for
course.
another hour or two. So
I handed out those missives to a few friends. I chartered a carriage and a cutter, no less. So it was rather quick. But I made it to the north, and I gave a few to Bahamut's family as well.
mm.
I thought they might be able to help. I have some old friends there. So
Uh,
if anything happens in the northern half of the city, we should know.
I'm gonna put Beans in charge, so make sure you listen to whatever he wants. For at least the next 2 hours, and he'll point towards the small child. Let me know how he does.
I see no problem with this. I
See?
will.
You never
Also
know.
make
Small children can surprise you. I'm interested to see what his what is he capable of.
make sure he feeds them. Small children need food.
Is there food here? Did I miss the food?
There's a
no, there's
tavern.
no food. But Vincent goes over to Bean and he's just like, Bean, I have a new job for you.
Right, sir. Thank you. This is record employment for me, 2 in 1 day.
He's gonna reach into his side pocket and pull out 5 gold and give it to him. This is an advance. If you can complete the rest of the day, I'll give you another 2 on top of that. You are in charge. I need to head out. I want you to do the rest of the face painting, and if anything pops up, you can let, and I'll point towards Alexi. Alexi, know. I want you to make sure all the kids are enjoying themselves and everyone gets what they need, okay?
I know you. You're a real knight. Everyone is noble and chivalrous. At least they have been today. But you have a knighthood. Lexi's like, I do. Wow. Can I be a knight? He's like, maybe. Let's discuss. See if he takes Bean by the shoulders. He's like, I really picture like armor, but golden armor. Is that? It doesn't seem structurally accurate. As he gets taken away, you find yourselves within the park.
I do remember that Sylvia also mentioned that the Windward, they frequent a tavern called the Wayward Tavern in Ilmater's district. Is that nearby here?
Oh, so for the two specified, the Windward are the group that Sylvia is a member of, which is like a kind of like a monster outreach program for the Dungeonborn. But the Windwalkers is the company that deals with like the printing press, and they are the transit. They are the transit for the city, inner and outer city. They handle a lot of trade. They're like a massive company within the.
I thought
the
because it was Killig missing, I thought we were gonna go to the Windward and ask them to take
That was my
an eye
assumption
out.
as well. Yeah,
Okay.
I mixed them up too.
Okay. We would be heading over to. Would I know where that is though? In Ilmater's district, do you think?
You guys were let know that the Windward Call is the place where they meet. I'm not entirely certain that you guys would be aware of its general location.
I think we need to go find Sylvia.
I think we can
Wow.
ask probably. This is not Killian saying, but we could probably ask Bean.
Yeah.
As a gopher after all.
I could give it a try. Bean, as Alexi and him are walking away.
So you like approach, and it's just like, I understand that the ringlets, ring mail is important, but it's so heavy. Yes, sir.
I have a question to ask you. Do you know where the Windward Call is?
It's a tavern. It's directly across from the slipstream, far north of the city along the outer walls.
Thank you. And he'll pass him an extra 5 silver.
Any other questions? Puts it in his shirt.
He already gave him the 5 gold from before, and the offer still stands.
Yeah, you there? Paint. Like approaches a kid who's face painting, looks at him confused, and then continues painting. He's like, "Good job, good job. I've got this."
Vincent just looks at him expectingly, like he's treating him like an adult. So
Just smiles and takes that, and then like it's like, "Oh my god, I got responsibility." Oh no. and then begins to move about, trying to take care of everything. You guys receive information on the location of the Windward Call, which, according to Bean, is right around here. And as you leave the park and you begin to make your way across. Boop, boop, boop. You guys just take a walk. It'd be about an hour's jaunt.
Yeah, I think we're fine. We don't
All
have
right.
anything. Is Lavos coming with us, or?
Lavos would be coming with you unless you guys were literally like, no, stay at this fair for any particular reason.
No.
Is Morrigan coming with us?
Morrigan is like, she's currently blocked because like you guys are the ones who have the leads, and she's like, the only thing she can really do is attempt to decipher the book, so she would probably come with you.
Okay.
You guys begin to move through the district, and you pass by the just gargantuan Altician Grand Cathedral as you move through the rack, and you find these just like these stack homes and various different you see wooden fences and people all over the place, and like laundry set out to dry on the outside, and just this constant, very, very large community of people. It's just everywhere you listen to, there's like revelry and people kind of gathering together. You see two people sitting on a stoop, one of which is like hand over the other while they're crying, and 5 people just kind of happen by and notice that and move in. And it's just very tightly knit. And as you encircle the areas and you find different districts and cloistered together, you find the Blackrock district and pass by and through until eventually you find the Windward Call Tavern, which stands on a very tall wooden support with, you can clearly see under it, and they've got like grass and various different mushrooms and fungus and moss growing underneath, with a small hatch. As someone pops down and begins to like scrape down towards the mushrooms, grabbing a few, they look over and are like, oh, hello, come on inside. Pull the hatch back up and just enter into the tavern.
As we're going about walking over to there, Vincent, he has his violin on him, and he's just going to reach around and touch the bow of it a little bit, and then he's going to cast message up in directions until he hits Mo, and he's just going to send secretly. You're still following, right?
Yes, master.
Okay, we're heading into a tavern, so just keep an eye about and, tap me on the shoulder or something if you see something suspicious.
Very well, master. And he rolls perception. Okay. There are people across the street watching you at this very moment.
He looks.
You turn around and look. The people don't avert their gaze. They just continue watching as the group continues to move towards the tavern. No, a group of dwarvish individuals who kind of just sit across the way on a wooden stoop, just looking at you guys and keeping an eye on everything that's happening.
Could just be people watchers. It'll note it, but he'll keep walking.
Killian will wave at them.
They smile and start waving back. They look back towards each other and elbow each other and are like, I told you. They're fine people. You guys enter into the tavern and you find a very small kind of, it almost has a circular interior and a square exterior, which just means a lot of missing space on the corners. A spiral staircase on the back as the bar kind of just sits underneath the spiral staircase. They're like, hello, what can I help you with? Would you like a drink? We don't have any specials, but we have quite a few different fruit drinks. We're our specialty, which I just mentioned we don't have any of, is moss and fungus. If that interests you.
In a drink?
Does it look like they're asking for like a code word or a password?
Roll insight.
Yeah, I was also going to ask for insight because that was very odd. Let me know.
He can absolutely roll insight, yeah.
No. He just wants to see, like, not necessarily code word, but like, is he bad at his job? Or is he faking it and he's trying to seem off?
The movements of this individual, especially before, are the movements of one who has done this 10,000 times. This is, if not someone who's worked here from the beginning, probably the owner. And judging by their motions and their movements, they're incredibly competent at what they do. Matilda, you're looking at them with that kind of like that air of thought on whether or not this is something to dig into, but Vincent, you are pretty sure that this is like an opening for something. Some kind of response to let him know that you're in the know. He says
I look towards Killian.
We have a friend who told us to come here. And I look around the tavern. Are there a lot of people in here right now?
Nobody else in the tavern.
Okay. Sylvia?
Oh, did Sylvia give us a key phrase or something when we met with her?
I don't believe she did, actually.
Okay,
I don't think we ever said like, "Oh yeah, we'll go there." Like,
yeah, no worries. I just wanted to make sure because Matilda would remember.
He said, Sylvia, was it? Are you... And he kind of looks you up and down for a moment.
She's our keeper at the dungeon.
A wonderful, practical, and amazing lady. She sent you my way. Any particular reason?
Not explicitly, but we have a problem that we were hoping you might be able to help with. My broodmate has gone missing, and I'll like pull one of the papers out, just kind of like show the face.
This is very fine detail, isn't it? Goodness. I'm terribly sorry to hear that. What is it? Do you have a name or information to go with this?
His name's Killig.
Killig.
He's been missing a few days. Like, Killian kind of turns to like Matilda to be like, "What day is it? I'm so mixed up now that we've had a dream that was a day and it's not a day anymore."
It is currently the 46th of High Bloom, 24 after Ashfall.
Yeah, and that comes out of Matilda's mouth. No kidding.
At least a few days.
You can see as they look at this, even with your previous insight check, Vincent, this is the look of like a police officer who's heard this kind of story so many times, and it almost seems desensitized. The point where he's actually asking just like questions in this seemingly off-kilter, like, and any names, any accomplices, any locations that they frequent, and it just keeps asking these individual bits.
Does it seem like he needs incentive? Would he want something to work a little harder? He's just rambling off like a script that he usually goes through.
What you kind of intuit from this is not that they like are disinterested, but that this is a common occurrence.
Yeah.
This is common enough that it's something that they're almost desensitized to at this point.
Yeah,
but
It is now routine.
As he's already asking questions, it does seem like they are interested, without a doubt. Like most people would just be like, "And what's in it for me?"
Yeah.
But as he is continually asking these questions, he says, "Right. Unfortunately, it's not something that has been rare within the realm of the city, but it has been curiously frequent as of late. My apologies. My name is Jeremy Whitsey."
Would you mind? Do you have any wine behind? You said you specialize in fruit, so.
I absolutely do. Would you like? We have a rosewood grain that's come in recently from Shanti's family. It's quite fine. If you're interested, a rosé.
He'll just order while you guys keep chatting.
And
I have some questions for you if you are able to answer them for me.
Oh, shoot.
All right. When these people have been gone missing, is there a certain time of the month they go missing? A certain time of the week? Is it in the morning or the afternoon or the evening? Like, is there anything about the time they go missing that is similar?
A lot of it seems to revolve around center of the city in a strange kind of setting, but this is majorly for the history of the city. Specifically recently, let me go ahead and think about that.
Matilda draws like a tiny little map, and she kind of wants them to kind of mention, like, note where each person's kind of gone missing to see if there's a way to like triangulate it, or if it's making a weird symbol, or like what. It's like math meme, basically.
As you focus in and you continue to ask questions of this individual, who kind of like takes a look at the map, he looks up and just reaches up, grabs onto this this small lever and pulls it, and you see the door kind of just like little piece of wood falls on top of it, loosely locks it. He looks over and sees it, nods, and then just continues to scour through as he's thinking and regaling you with the information he has on hand. He has not currently like admitted anything about this group that seemingly meets here, but as he kind of remains almost clandestine, he does seem to offer a semblance of aid. And in that, as he continues to pour through, we will go on break. So, Matilda, previously before we went on break, you had some Q&As for this individual.
I do. I want to know where all the reported missing people have reported from going missing. I wanted to know if they mentioned if there was a struggle when they found it, if it looked like all their stuff was everywhere, like if they actually were able to go to the person's place and see if anything had been amiss. If there was any like iconography or symbols or anything that looked really odd at the places that they gone missing. Is there something that's always missing when these people are reported missing? They're like, oh yeah, their money always seems to be missing, or like their shoes, or I don't, just something weird. Was there a particular group or family that's been going missing, or a certain class, or also too, if there's any groups or families that have extreme particular prejudice against monstrous races.
I also add on one to that. If they've found any of the bodies, if any of them have been found.
Yeah, good question. Yes, it's a good question.
I would say, as this person is kind of going back and forth with you, sharing what information they like have on hand, they say, we do have some records, but it's a bit of a topic of mine, but I might be able to search them, given just a few days. But offhand, there didn't seem to be any particular connections. And as he continues to go through the information, he shows you kind of like pointing out on a map of Amaranth that he pulls out and unfurls, which is actually in and of itself like impressive. He begins to point it out, and you can actually see that it's very widespread in the areas that have been placed. The only place that had like any particularly more than other people was the south of the Deanery, which is literally like it was like one in this district, one in this district, one in this district, one in this district, and then as soon as he mentions like Killig, his final finger goes down at Killig's place and says, and this one here, as the only one that has a shared duplicate in a district. It basically covers the entire city. And as you guys are asking questions, you learn that no bodies have seemingly been discovered, and as the situation continues to unfold, things seem they've been escalating. Go ahead and roll investigation.
Matilda?
Anyone proficient in investigation can roll investigation in this instance.
Can I guide myself?
You can.
Killian's too distraught.
Would I actually be able to give Killian advantage instead? Yep. So Killian, reroll that one. Oh.
Slightly better.
Yep.
Slightly better.
Oh, that meme.
Like you look at Matilda's, and you got trigonometry and like various different formulae, and then you see Killian's, and it's like triangle, a single mathematic equation. It's like you're getting
2 plus 2.
The bubbles are appealing. No, you're proficient, but in this instance, you probably are just incredibly distraught and like pouring over this information. You feel very emotional and personally connected. Morrigan kind of is onlooking all of this as well, and is paying particular attention to locations, none of which seem to be particularly near Gon's district. And as she is poring over this, Matilda, you deem from the information given to you that this individual does obviously seem very well connected. You already know why, but the group to have everything this widespread and actually seems to be somewhat close in time frame. He's like, I believe these three were 4 weeks apart, and this one was this. They seem to have at least like some connections and be somewhat organized. It doesn't seem like, and the scattershot nature of being like this person here and that person there seems to determine that they actually are trying to somewhat cover themselves, cover some kind of tracks. Determining this is either a family that has resources or incredibly like fanatic individuals. And as they mentioned that there's nothing particular that goes missing, the only thing that is consistent is that people leave. Like they just leave. They seem to disappear. They take their stuff and they go.
That seems very similar to her brother, right?
It does.
Yeah.
And as he shares this information with you all, and none of the bodies have been found. I said that before, though.
My thing was there any family in particular that it shows an outward disdain towards monster races, that like more so than any other family, like just extreme hate?
Let me go ahead and pop open the chart here. More so that I can kind of go down the list of. He's like, families that hate monstrous races. There's quite a few. Even Corlon Lorethian himself seems to have somewhat of a disdain against the monstrous races. The Edelweiss family the royal family of the city itself seems to have disdain towards the monstrous races due to the fact that they come from the dungeon, which they outwardly despise. Like they actively say how the dungeon is what ruined this economy. But
hold on. But in the dream, the king went up to the guy, no problem, bought an ice cream, no issue, and paid a bunch of money.
Well, there was
Goblin
like
was also blue,
a 15-step protection. There was like a 15-step protection thing that went on with his guards, but that also seems not necessarily out of the ordinary for nobility.
Okay.
Selecting through, let me go ahead and look at. There's like 70 plus gods in the city.
Well, Matilda wants to know the one that's the most, like, the ones that are most loud about it. There's, like, ones that, like, probably don't like them, but then there's ones that probably word of mouth, like, holy shit, if you're a goblin, don't go near this family at all, because they will fucking stab you. Like, there's probably ones that are much more scary than other ones. That's the top 5 is what Matilda wants, the ones that are the most bad and will actually do something about it.
Loudest hateful group.
Yes,
the loudest
thank you.
hateful.
Yes.
You have the Keeper, would be one. Scrolling down throughout the information that this person has at their disposal. Hercules.
Okay.
Let me know when you're ready for the next one.
Mm-hmm.
You have Talos.
Okay, next one, please.
You have... Scroll. Tiamat. But Tiamat hates everybody equally.
Okay, next one.
And Loth, who equivalently hates just about everybody equally.
Okay, so are any of those close to the areas of people that have gone missing?
There is someone within all of those districts that have gone missing. The one that is like the closest to the actual home of the person in question was Tiamat, which was just to the south of her district in Melora's district, Harmony's Wake. Or
now,
in Melora's district.
With knowing that this person's it seems a little bit organized, are they trying to cover up their tracks by putting it in districts that openly dislike monstrous races, like they're doing it on purpose?
No, it seems very widespread. It seems like it's widespread in order to attempt to obscure their position.
If this is connected to the other disappearances that aren't monstrous, then it might not have anything to do with monsters. It might just be a bunch of people thing.
That's very true, but I think that monstrous ones are the most convenient to probably take off the streets because there's the least
less
amount
likely to get reported.
Yes. Did I recognize her brother's face on the board at all from the office when we went to the
No.
Okay.
From what she said about him, he seems like just a straight up good person. Yeah. Would not find his way onto a ransom board, likely. Vincent, you once again feel a strange kind of like tingle in the back of your head as a spell is aborted.
So someone keeps trying to cast a spell on Vincent and then is ending it?
So you are aware that this is Mo trying to get your attention.
Oh.
Oh, okay. I get it.
It kind of it taps in this time as you hear like a faint like tapping on the wall behind you, and then
Vincent,
a
as
spell
he's
cast
sipping
on you.
his wine, just
Their
like leans
pager.
back to like scratch his neck and touches his violin and will cast message towards Mo. What is it, dear?
Someone is approaching the rear of this locale.
Vincent will look towards the group. Someone is approaching the backside of this tavern. Is it someone that you're expecting?
Likely. I'll go say hello and then meet with you again.
Okay.
In the meantime, I'll continue to look into this. It's not something that I was particularly focusing on at the moment, but it seems to be more pertinent now.
Yes, anything and everything you find out, I'd like to know. Not one little scrap of information is not important because they could lead to a finding of a pattern. And once we find that pattern, then we can find out what happened.
Jojo's gonna like sort of like lean down to Matilda. Are we sharing both ways? Are we letting them know about the cult?
No.
Okay.
He's gonna roll insight.
I'll put my hand on the back of my thingy again and send a message to Mo and he's gonna go around back. Just keep an eye and let me know if they talk about anything. That would be interesting for us to know.
Very well, Master.
Do you want me to roll?
I don't have telepathy, just so you're aware.
He can't. Oh, does he quickly add that onto the end?
He throws that in at the end of the message.
Vincent knows. He'll check in. He just doesn't send it. He's leaving him in suspense. He doesn't send a message back.
Ping me with messages every few seconds. And he just makes his way up the roof. As you all begin to head out of the area, he once again like lifts that lever and the doorway opens for you all. Just like it's in no way stealthy. Like it now just kind of like pours back as this like old machine pulls that wooden support that's been holding the doorway closed, and you all make your way out. As
Did Morgan wait outside? I guess.
Morgan was here. She was listening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no one asked her to stay back, so she was definitely.
No, that's fine.
As you all make your way outside, Lavos also alongside you, but kind of wearing the face of just seemingly like a normal person, just another part of your group, didn't really interact at all. Mo returns after about a minute or two. He says, they entered into the location. There's a rear entrance, a hidden one. It's covered, but it's mostly moss. If you open it up, it seemed like there was a tunnel leading underneath. They had only shared a few words briefly. They mentioned you, and that you are a group that is interested in the monsters that Sylvia sent you.
Did they seem excited about that or disappointed?
They just kind of nodded. The other one has already returned to the inside. The one who had approached was a male, late 60s. Human.
He'll let you guys know about that.
Okay.
Can I have some gold?
Vincent will send a message to Mo. Every time you do something, I can't just hand you gold. We'll talk about this later.
Are you sure?
Well, you could. Sorry, good.
Are you sure we don't want to let them know what we found so far? I mean, if Sylvia seems like on the up and up, I don't know if we want to trust these people right away. But if I don't know, they seem like they have a lot of resources. It seems like they'd be a good ally with.
What I said earlier about cults and word of mouth, it can go either one or two ways. Either they like it when word of mouth spreads, or they don't. And they go after people that start talking about them. I don't know if this person is a double agent. The only person I trust is Sylvia at this point. So I don't know about them yet. They also could be fielding information. I just don't know.
Okay.
Yes, I'd prefer to have me the only one with a hit out on me.
That does make
Okay.
things easier.
Okay. Well, let's take at least a half step of faith that the people that Sylvia would contact are not bad.
Yeah.
He seemed pretty on the up and up. He wasn't lying to us when he was talking in there. It just seems like whatever he's doing is routine. He gets a lot of people coming here asking for help. And he seemed interested.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
I trust his information. I trust that they weren't lying to us when giving us that information. That does not mean I need to give them brand new information. We are doing them a favor by helping them look for these people and trying to find out what happened to them.
Killian, they're going to help regardless. They seem invested, so they will let us know if they see Killig. It's not an issue. It's just this cult business makes things a little bit more troublesome. We wouldn't want to, if they aren't involved with it, letting them know about it could also put them on some sort of hit list.
Oh, yeah, no, I totally agree. We should keep it closer to our chests for now.
Well, there's a lot to act on yet. It's good. It's good that we have this information going on. Morgan says, yes, if you can copy any of the script from that book, I can begin my evaluation of it. I feel that is my time best spent.
Vincent's going to go over to Morgan and just kind of eye her up or down just abruptly. You're not, are you one who's very dedicated to your family? Current one, I mean.
I'm not, connected, I would say. Merkel doesn't really say much. I have some friends or allies, I guess I would call them. No.
You wouldn't be willing to maybe switch sides. I think if you joined us, we'd be a little more inclined to spend more time with Matilda and learn your book. Be easier that way, frankly. And he'll look behind him. Not if I'm not overstepping my bounds. Oh, gracious family.
Well, I don't trust her fully yet. Just got to make sure.
We could put her on a probation of sort.
She roll persuasion with disadvantage.
Is it common to change families willy-nilly?
No.
No. Silver Tongue is very fun. I do love that feature.
Yeah, in situations like this is great.
I rolled a 2, so 16. And then with disadvantage though.
It is.
Oh yeah, it would be 16.
My minimum is 16.
She says, I'm very flattered, but my family has a lot of resources, and at least for now, it's imperative that I need them.
Well,
The first time we look at the book, I would like for the Eldath person to be there. So I think we'll arrange for a time to meet together. And then after that first session goes well, then I will start describing and giving you pages.
Okay, keep me posted here. Do you know where Merkel's family house is? If you head there and just kind of speak with the steward, I'll await anything. I'm going to continue. I'm going to look into some of the locations that they had mentioned previously. I'm going to go and see if there's anything strange about them.
Are you sure that's a good idea? You said that they burnt your house down. I don't think you should look into this by yourself.
That was a couple months ago.
Yeah, but they think you're dead if all of a sudden you're walking around the street and alive.
I've been walking around the streets and alive for quite a time.
Okay.
I can handle myself. But thank you. I'll take my leave of all of you now. Thank you. I don't know really what's going on, but thank you.
Vincent will go up and be like, well, if you change your mind, and he'll hand her one of his business cards. You can contact us here as well. Or just visit, and he'll give her a nice smile.
You have a dating service?
If you're looking, love.
I mean, maybe. I'll think about it.
Is that why you were staring at me?
No.
Oh. Okay.
It was more cult stare. But now I know you're not a part of them. In fact, they might want you dead. So.
Oh.
But it might just be a random ghoul. I don't know.
Not likely.
Ghouls seem to have been popping up around the city. I don't know. But we will meet again. Thank you very much. And she heads off. Basically heads on down the western road.
Right, shall we... Sorry.
Lavos is just saying, I'm going to go look into this assassin business.
Oh, you mean mine? No.
Yeah, I don't like the idea
Don't
of
need
someone...
you. I already know who it is.
What? When?
What?
Fucking hell.
I work fast.
Alright, remind me never to try and kill you.
Yeah, care to enlighten?
And look around. Does it seem like this is a good area to talk about this?
There's always kind of people about. You guys have been somewhat clandestine in your conversations, but the rack is a very difficult place to get away from prying ears. You know the district's pretty well in the north here. If you just head a little bit west, you'll enter into Garl Glittergolds, where no one gives a fuck about anyone's business. It's all about having fun.
Okay, we'll do that. Yeah, let's walk. We'll talk in a bit. Get to a little bit of a better location.
You find a particularly abandoned corner in front of a place called the Hero's Journey Blacksmith.
Okay. And I'll have Mo on the lookout just if anyone comes near, because they could be disguised as anyone. He just wants to know, just in case. So when you brought up before this person changes, it struck a chord, and I kind of understood who and what those people are. And through some connections, I was able to figure out who they were. Their name is Ilmir Dyla? I think it was Adrian.
Emir Dillon.
Emir Dillon.
Emir Dillon. Okay. It's Din. Okay, I put A-N for some reason. Emir Dillon. She's part of Syric's family. Rank 2. She's a rogue.
All right. Well, fuck. I could just go there.
I'm pretty sure there's always a chance it couldn't be, but it also makes sense why Mask, wanted to try and get us on his side. He doesn't really like Cyric, so.
Actually, now that I have something to focus on, I might just take another trip to the deep ethereal and see if anything pops its way in. I could also, if I know the person's name, there's a chance I can pop into their own dreams. Try and affect them there, so...
If you do, try and make her somewhat sympathetic towards me. She's gone against her bias before, so there's no guarantee that we can't convince him to stop this job and maybe go on to another one.
See what I can do.
If not, we can just hopefully take her out, but...
friends are better than enemies. Even dead ones. Everything leaves a trace. Alright.
Her
We got
weakness
something
seems
going.
to be her own kind.
Anything anyone else wants me to do for them right now? I can be in 3 places at once about, and he waves his hands and you see these 3 ravens kind of appear around him.
Can you get me 8 stickers from Cisco's?
I'm not a fucking miracle worker. Yeah, I can do that.
Can you?
Oh, really? Nice.
Can you follow Morgan? I don't
One of the
think
ravens.
she can. I don't know. I worry that she's not going to be able to keep herself safe.
Well, if she winds up dead tomorrow, then I guess it was a coincidence that she had enough time to be able to do this anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I was worried she's going to stab me the whole entire time we were walking, which she didn't, so at least there's that.
She seems to be in a worse position than you are, love.
The raven kind of flies back. You see Lavos pick up a small stone from the ground, and it just ignites into this kind of like miniature like sunlight, or starlight rather.
And can you send messages in the dreams, Lavos?
He tosses it up, and the raven kind of grabs it and flies off. He says, well, if she stabbed it in the next 8 hours, I can, blast the one who's doing it. I can interact with them in full. Did you want me to talk to them about something?
Well, maybe just don't show who you are, but maybe try to assess the situation and see if she's willing to meet and talk. Someone discreet. I don't know, maybe the woods near the old town. I don't know where is a good location in the city for something like this.
We should pick somewhere in an open field. Or somewhere, yeah. Old town's not bad. I got a lot of visibility around there. Alright, can do. I'll let you know if there's a meeting and what place and time.
Okay.
Just thought of something. Lavos, you said you can communicate with people in their dreams?
I can.
Would you be able to speak with Killig?
Potentially. Creatures from the dungeon get a little bit hazy. It's never really worked in the past, but I can certainly try.
What about Morgan's brother?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Delphi.
Do you have a name and a description?
Mm-hmm. And
Delphi
Matilda opens her mouth and rattles off the description.
Delphi Shale. He takes that into account. He writes that down. He says, I can only do one of these a night. So which one are we focused? I think...
Vincent.
No offense to Morgan, but you are my highest priority, my family.
It should always be your highest priority, love.
That's going to happen to my kids. He begins to write down. All right.
I have another... This is more of a hypothesis, and he'll look up a little bit.
Just lands on your shoulder and forms into a small spider.
It's going to be hard for us to communicate when you're like this, but I'll see what you're capable of. If I were to bring you into the dungeon, and I know you don't want to go, but hear me out. Would your connection with your master allow us to get onto the instance of the dungeon that he is currently on? Or has nothing like that ever been tried before?
Do you want to repeat that one more time? Sorry.
If we were to enter the dungeon with Mo, would his connection to his master, because they're literally bonded, allow us to end up on the same instance as his master?
He says, I don't know. Actually, no, he taps you twice.
It'd be better if you could communicate. He sends him a message. Does that help?
The spider says, I don't know. It's not something that I think we've ever thought about. We always ended up together, but we never exactly left months apart. There's always the opportunity that he did come back for me, but just didn't end up in the same place.
You'd be able to tell if he was near you, right? You have some sort of bond?
Very near.
Still useful within the dungeon. Where was his objective? Where is he going?
That I don't know. He placed me within that small nook and told me to wait there.
And you have no
More
idea
forceful
what
than
your
usual.
master's goals or objectives were. Interesting.
Well, he seemed nervous leading up to it, but that's the norm. And then once we reached that location, we had traveled alone, which is also odd. Avoiding
he
most
entered
of the
by
enemies.
himself.
We did.
Okay. He'll relay the information to the rest of the party. We also have this to go after, but I was just curious. So what's the plan, loves?
So how fast can you get those stickers?
As fast as I
noticed
buy
I'm-
10 things, 8 things,
Oh,
however many
well,
stickers
I could
you
do
need.
that.
Why don't we just go visit Cisco and you can have? He's like your mother's new boyfriend, right? He's practically family to you.
I mean, new. It's like been a year or two, 3,
That's
3.
That's more than long enough, love. Why would he? If you had questions about your mom, why would he hold back on that?
No, I know. I don't know. I thought the card might have been important.
You don't
Uh,
think it's the game itself?
No, the card seemed really specific.
Well, you did make a bunch of gold inside of the dungeon. You can go buy a couple things.
Yeah, I did. I sort of left most of it at the family home, but I have enough for like, I don't know, 10 vials, but he only gives 1 a day. He'll probably just give it to me. I don't know. That's why I was hoping you'd just be able to like steal 8 for me.
I mean, I could just, buy some chalk.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he really thought out the, like, logistics of it. Masterwork sword, 1 sticker. Piece of chalk, 1 sticker.
Yeah,
As
but I
far as
mean, it's an
understand.
exchange. It's an exchange for like playing a game, which for the most part is rigged. Just kidding. They're fine.
There seems to be something to unpack there, but I'll leave it for now.
The thought of purchasing a masterwork sword kind of jogs Vincent's memory. He wants to think back on the conversation that was kind of glanced over for the Valentine's family. What exactly was he was getting? Can you just go over that again? Because I feel like that whole discussion last time was something I was unable to grasp.
Sure. The nature of it is that they are offering you basically a custom magic item, which might take a little bit of time to produce, but depending on what it is that you want on the magic item, determines basically how long that will take. You and I have discussed what that magic item would be outside of session, and in the meantime, they said they're willing to offer you something of equivalent, basically like just as incentive. Hold on to this, and you can have this until your magic item is complete, and then we will exchange back. Or if you end up loving the thing that you have, you can have
Am I
that.
supposed to go back for that?
They can have had it delivered to your family home. No problems whatsoever there, because they have quite a
hiding the family home, because I could have just gotten it delivered to the
or the black sheep rather, yeah. Because basically that's where everything's going right now. You just have a massive pile of mail.
Yeah, I think JoJo's
Isn't-
gonna go to Cisco's.
Wasn't her sister missing too?
Yes, that's to have to do with the warlock Crom, which is the imp's master. That's why Vincent's been asking questions to him. But he's hiding in the dungeon. And as far as we know, there's no way to get onto the instance of the floor that he's on. So I'm hoping that the bond with the imp allows us to do that. So we'll see. It's a long shot, and we have no idea if we'll ever encounter him there.
To Cisco's! Is Cisco's like, can we stop by like Pom Poms on the way? Or is like Pom Poms like after Cisco's? Just so that we're.
Is it on the? I think it's on the way. So like
You guys are at one side of town, and then you'd need to go to the other side. So everything's on the way.
We don't have to. I want to go do JoJo's thing. I was just making sure for location wise if it made sense to kind of just like pop in.
I think
we weren't doubling back.
Seeing if we can talk with Killig in his dreams is our best bet right now.
Okay, cool.
If you guys want, we could split up and meet up again in the morning and go to Albas or whatever.
Nah,
you guys are pretty late in the afternoon right now. If you were to split up, you'd basically get like one thing done. Yeah.
To Cisco's.
Okay.
7 silver, 5 copper for the Windwalker's carriage.
Vincent just looks at Lavos.
Yeah, I got it. As he calls the carriage, he hands them the money. He's like, "This better be the best goddamn carriage ride of my life." He's like, "We endeavor the best, good sir." Yeah, I'm a god, so remember that. He gets in the carriage. You guys are driven down the main city streets in one of the straightest paths you've ever taken, straight through the deanery and up to the cross in the center of it, until you turn the corner and you find your way up to Cisco's pawn shop. A fine little location in the center of the city. the beating heart. As you approach Cisco's, once again, the music just kind of blaring off the track. People coming and going. It is just a busy, busy, busy shop. As we pop in a little different song. Cisco has kind of like a little bit of a random festival vibe going on as he's dressed up in this strange like Mad Hatter hat and a fine little suit as he is moving about. People are coming and going and playing different games and grabbing these like festival sparklers that are literally just like enchanted. Pull the bottom and it goes shoots out little sparkles. And as you approach, he says, "Oh, hello everybody. What can I get for you?"
Hey. My mom told me something. She's gonna like sort of bring him to the side and like kneel down to eye level with him. My mom gave me a Cisco punch card with all of the stickers very particularly placed in them and a hole punch in the corner, and told me that if I'm lucky, I'll see her again. I need to play the ladies' luck game.
All right. Yeah. I'm not going to charge you for this, JoJo. If you need that, that's fine.
She seemed like it was very, momish,
I thought ain't your mom gone? Isn't she not here right now?
She isn't here right now.
Okay.
I don't think I can explain it.
Cool.
By the way, your book's great. Your book's really good.
Thank you. I was really thinking like I didn't quite understand why it didn't sell very well. I think it's some kind of conspiracy against me.
Maybe the title really doesn't lend to what is in it. It's not exactly.
Big Yellow Box Company. You go there, you know what you're gonna get. You want a big yellow box company. My book. It's right there on the cover. Whatever you want. Tell you what. Let's go to Ladies' Luck.
Okay.
I don't take criticism very well.
While we're walking over there, can Vincent try and get Cisco's attention?
In a secretive way?
No. He wishes to just. Cisco, do you mind if I ask you if you have any inventory on some specific items?
Yeah, of course. Here, let's go to this machine first. It's third floor. Come on. It begins to climb up the ladders. What are you looking for in the meantime?
Do you have a feather token?
Qualls, yeah? Which one are you looking for? I got a few in stock.
The normal one? Is there differences? I've only known of the one.
Qual, yeah, it's got. Oh, you want a feather token? Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. I think so. You want bird, fan, swan boat, tree, whip, anchor?
Whatever one does what it's supposed to do the most effectively.
I can give you one turns into a swan boat. Sounds fun. Is a fan. Fan's fun.
I don't. Vince, can you explain it to the player? Because I have no idea what you're talking about.
The magic item has various different uses. Are you looking for the Featherfall?
It only has the one use. Yeah, it's just supposed to make it so that if you fall, you can use it to cast Featherfall on yourself once. And that's it. I don't know what item you're looking at.
He kind of pulls it out as he moves along. Actually, he says, "This tiny objects look like a feather. Different types of feather tokens exist, each with a single-use effect. You have anchor, which you can anchor a boat. You have bird, which turns into an enormous bird. You have fan, which turns into a you can use to push a boat.
Then.
Okay.
The one that I'm looking at.
Okay. As you glance through kind of the magic items as he makes his moves, eventually you come up to the Lady Luck machine. And it's kind of like old. He's like, it hasn't worked too well in the last couple months. It's just, put it up for an engineer or a tinkerer to look at it, but they've been pretty busy with the whole star thing.
Oh, would you mind? And Killian just raises her sleeve to show off the artificer emblem.
Oh yeah, no, jump on in. I don't mind at all.
Hey Killian, you wanna don't look for tampering, I guess. like look for clues if you could while fixing it, because I don't know if there's supposed to be some hints here or something that my mom left. It feels like I'm on a fucking like scavenger hunt from my mom. Hang on a second. And then she's just gonna like go around the room searching for clues that might have been left, some messages.
In this instance, go ahead and roll perception. And Vincent, he looks and he says, "Yeah, we got that. It'd be about 65 gold, but for you guys, 58. And this one here helped me with that machine. I'll bring that down to a crisp 53.
He remains silent, just kind of being like, okay.
Cool.
All right. Can Killian both investigate and do kind of like a repair check? Like do 2 different checks while she's doing this?
Roll investigation. Because you have proficiency in your tools, you may roll that with advantage. And Vincent, what were you saying?
I just wanted to make sure because I feel like there was some confusion because of the way he responded. Vincent wasn't agreeing to what he was saying. He was just saying, like, I registered the fact that you gave me that price.
Yes.
He's remaining silent for it.
If this is a like silent treatment trying to get him to barter, he seemed to not be perceptive to that or receptive to that.
Cool.
Cool.
Can Matilda make a pretentious smart person check where she is also a pretentious smart person, and like, you know how they make clues that they think are like really cool smart clues, but they're just like, it's just way too complicated and dumb in the sense of like it only makes sense to weird smart people.
Like someone who's trying to like decipher art when the artist is next to them and they're like, it really seems to dig into the psyche of them. They're like, actually, it's a dog.
Yeah, because Matilda and her mom, I think, are very similar that way, where they're like, oh, yes, this is a really great clue. And that, no, it's not.
You can also go ahead and roll investigation, I think is what you were trying to allude to. Killian, as you are investigating the machine, you don't see anything wrong with it. As you open it up, the mechanics seem to be in place. In fact, it seems very well oiled. And like, but Cisco takes out like a punch card and he places it in and it just like zip, zip, sucks in, zip, zip, immediately ejects it. It hasn't been working.
Could I?
As you're looking for any particular clues, you do notice that there is one modification. And the modification seems to be in the intake that takes in that card that had just been taken. A little scanner that seems to be like placed after, not a scanner, but like a little thumb punch almost. It's just got a little like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's a small machine with a dot on it. As the card runs through and pulls back, the dot goes down and then back up.
Was that
seems to be not part of the original machine?
That hole punch in the card that my mom had given me in the dream, was it like circular or was it a weird shape?
Circular. It looked like someone punched out a hole in the bottom right corner of the card.
Is this good? Could I get like 8 stickers and a circular hole punch?
Yeah.
I'll buy it.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't need to buy it. No, I got it for you. No, this is what I do.
Also,
this goes.
Jojo, you are aware that if you really needed to contact your mother, you can just hire someone to send her a message, right?
Like a spell, I guess. I don't know. It seemed like something weird was going on.
No, I know. I just mean like if you wanted to see, if she doesn't respond, that's usually bad. But if the spell goes through, you at least know she's alive.
And
how much does that usually cost?
It's not too much.
If you're talking about sending a spellogram, it's like, I think 6 gold for a message of 10 letters. You get 25 words for 10 gold, I think. It's pretty pricey, but they're all like, oh, you know, we got wizards, so it is what it is. Matilda, with your previous check, as Killian's looking into the machine and spots kind of these things, you're just like pointing at various different pieces, and you're like, the mechanics here look as though they tell a story, and just begin to like pull into these small nuances and begin to go on your tangent of hidden clues.
Pretentious smart people, yep.
You also pick up on the same thing that Killian had, but you didn't notice anything odd about it because you weren't like proficient with these kinds of tools. Yeah.
I turn to Jojo and I say, do you want me to like remove this?
No,
Or do we-
don't remove it. I wanna Jojo's gonna take like the stickers on the hole punch from Cisco and like make the card like exactly the way she saw it in the deep ethereal, and then hole punch the corner and then put it in the machine.
You put it in, it just pulls in. Cisco like closes it in full, and as he kind of leans back and watches what goes on, the machine takes it in, and after a few seconds, you just hear from behind the machine. On the other side of the wall, you see a just small cracked begin to open in a like bookshelf in the corner. He's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh my God, Mom. And she's gonna like open it up to the door.
Like you go and you grab it and you pull it, and it's typically like false bookshelves have a line on the edge or on the outer area, but this looks as though the bookshelf itself was bisected. Books are cut in half. But as you move them, the pages don't break away. It looks as though this whole section was just kind of like removed. And as it slowly opens up, you spot it looks like the inner area of this wall has just been destroyed. Like cut up, like a section cleared and wooden supports leading to a ladder leading down. And he's like, my sword! What? This is not code. Get in there quick and hide this.
Yeah, okay. Jojo starts getting down the ladder.
Oh,
Guys, come on.
Vincent's
Cisco,
face.
do you mind following? I have a couple more business things to talk about you with.
Yeah. Let's get in.
So how long has Mom spent here?
Cisco's now outside the area.
Oh,
and
he
as you
left
close it, you call that out through the bookshelf.
No, I asked him to, like, Vincent's going in.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
We
staying
all
behind.
had to go, so he was saying, can Cisco come with?
Oh, sure. That's totally cool then. I
Unless it's like
misunderstood.
a really cramped room and Vincent would stay back, but I have
Right.
no idea.
There's enough room for all of you here. There's just a hole in kind of the wooden floor supports that leads down, and then another floor has been bored through, and then the ladder keeps going down underground. It's like, this is fucking madness. Are there any Denary inspectors coming through?
Did your mom make a secret lab?
It seems like it.
Yeah,
Or-
in my house.
Maybe it wasn't her. Maybe it was
Yeah,
someone else.
sure, yeah. Magic fucking cut my bookshelf in half. Definitely, that's something Joe Schmo down the road can do.
Yeah. I'm sure we can both give Mom a good talking to when she
Yeah,
gets
there's gonna be
back.
some talking when she gets back. If she is gone at all.
I mean, that's... I don't know. Mom! She also...
The
Has
further
the
down you
talking
go,
tos
it
ever
begins to
worked?
echo.
Sorry, what, Matilda?
Have the talking tos ever worked, Jojo?
I don't know if I've ever given my mom a talking to. Never been a need, really.
Vincent, Cisco looks at you and he's like, business, though. You mentioned business. I like that.
Do you want to watch? We're like currently going down a really long ladder.
Yeah,
right?
you think that stops him?
No. Yeah.
He probably looks down at you and is like, so what did you want to do?
You'll send him a sending message, or sorry, not sending, just a normal message, so they don't have to like scream in front of everyone. And I read that book that you gave us before, and you know, it was written pretty well. You know your way around a pen, I assume.
Oh, thank you very much. I do happen to be pretty good at everything.
You, Vincent notices this man's confidence. If you give me a good deal on the items I want today, I have a business proposition I'd like to work out with you.
All right. Let's. I'm interested. I can give you another little bit of a discount on there. We're already pushing past cost, so I'm gonna say this.
It'll be worth it, dear. I have a book that I'm trying to sell as well, and I was wondering if you would be so inclined to either look it over and see if you have any suggestions, as well as, you know, make copies of it and such.
Your business proposition for me is to work for you for a discount. You are a
No,
shrewd businessman.
Sorry, he didn't laugh. Give me 1 second.
No, cool. He's basically like, if I can co-write, maybe help you put my name on that, I might be a little bit into this.
No, we can go back to what he said before. No, I'm getting confused. That wasn't really the intentions, and I'm sorry if the presumptions came off that way. It was more we could work together on this, and this was more to see if you would be invested, more so. The deal.
Interesting. I have some ideas of my own. I've been looking for some collaborations, and I'm interested. I just need to see a little bit of your writing, and then maybe we could go somewhere with this. The ladder, by the way, this whole conversation going on, echoing through the chamber, and as you guys are descending, it's actually genuinely taking this long to get to the bottom.
I'm casting message.
Oh, you are. So he would have been silent during this whole time. So basically just Cisco every now and then being like, it's probably all you guys would hear in between the messages.
After like a little while, if we like couldn't see the top or the bottom from the top, Killian would just like take like, I don't know, go into her, like maybe she has like a broken paintbrush or something from the art supplies. Just like takes the stick, holds it, like kind of like taps it with her blacksmithing tools while she's like curved around like the ladder to be able to do this, and then just like drops it so that it's shedding bright light with the magical tinkering.
Ooh. As you drop it, it descends probably a good 80 or 90 feet. And then it kind of bounces off the ladder as the ladder itself begins to bend, and then kind of just slowly rolls outside of your sight. As the ladder ends and this little cavernous area, then the cavern around you is like perfectly carved. It's just a cylinder. There is no like rock. As you pass through dirt, it turns to stone, and it just kind of bores inward, bending as though someone had just pulled it out of the ground.
I'm gonna be honest, Jojo. If we have to ascend that ladder on our way back,
I'll carry you.
I guess I did skip my workout this morning because of the whole running towards the family house. So
I feel like I should be more surprised at all of this, but it seems pretty on brand for my mom.
I swear, if there's not a fucking diamond mine at the bottom of this thing, we're gonna have some words. Then you, Vincent, you and I, go ahead and roll persuasion.
During this, Vincent will look towards Matilda. Are you fine, dear? You. I feel like you might be a little out of breath with this one.
I think I'll be okay going down. Going up might be a little bit tricky, but you'd be really surprised how much getting in and out of graves is a workout.
Okay.
Mausoleums sometimes have really crazy stairs like this too. They always want to keep the good stuff way, way, way down.
This is true.
Cisco's like 40 gold, flat 40. And you and I, we're going to talk about a collaboration of sorts. And you and I, we're going to share a bit of the costs, but we can go over the nitty gritty in a little bit. For now, I got to be angry, and I don't want to be angry while business deals are going on. Am I cool? Are we cool with that?
Yeah, I think that this can work for now. And he'll hold it his hand for a handshake.
He reaches up and shakes his hand, and he's like, I'm such a good businessman. Here it is. I collected it before. And he pulls the feather token out of his pocket, which is like a little disc. Just has an image of a feather on it.
Don't follow, we'll need it now.
Yeah, I should probably hold on to this, but I'm already handing it up, and I'm not going to, it'd be silly to take it back now. As you guys continue down, eventually you reach the bottom of the ladder, and it begins to curve out and carries through into a just horizontal now movement. As you begin to move through, you see the little piece of broken art utensil that Killian had dropped, kind of shedding out this light in the area. And beyond it, as you begin to approach it, you see little runes on the side of the wall activate, and then little flames begin to appear on the side that dance in the open air, just guiding your guys' passage through. The entire area begins to open slightly to like a 15-foot radius, just cylinder that carries through into the underground.
This isn't something you can usually just do. This required a lot of money to make.
Yeah, it seems like they were doing this for a while, doesn't it? Yeah.
Is there any iconography or any runes that we notice?
pure smooth, just smooth stone.
Okay.
Mm.
No weird like symbol of like a kind of eclipse.
No.
Okay.
Nothing particularly convenient. As you guys follow through along the pathway, eventually it comes out into a small chamber. At the other side of the chamber is a little wooden house that is built into just the wall. You see a kind of like yellowish rooftop that seems to have been lifted. This building looks like it was lifted from the dennery and placed down here.
Huh. Before going into the entrance, I feel like Jojo's mom has some sort of trick to getting in to not set off some trap that I feel like she's got something like that, like one of these like weird like trap machines that's more of like the ball drops and rolls down a thing and knocks over a spoon, which like scoops a little bit of dirt from a planter, like something like that.
The Von Probus machine, yeah.
Yeah, Jojo's gonna look for
Here we go.
something like that.
The pretentious smart people.
Hey!
Go ahead and roll perception. You guys have light with this paintbrush, so you do not have disadvantage on this.
I feel like these are pretty on
16.
par for this whole dungeon.
You do spot some faint wires kind of leading off in various different locations, but they don't seem like things that would trace kind of this just elaborate methodology of some kind of crazy trap. Rather, as you are scouring, you do spot that there is, similar to the runes that were on the wall behind you, there is some runic etchings underneath the floorboards of the entryway, where if you had entered onto it, may have activated. But as you find them, you do know that scratching these out is typically how you get rid of them.
Could I just double check, like look at the runes and see if I can figure out what it is? Actually, magic awareness to see what school of magic it is.
It is divination.
And looking around, do I see anything else on the outside, or is there like a window that I can look into to see the inside of the house?
It looks like the front facade of a home. There's no windows on it. You see the door, some wood on the outskirts, just the front of a roof, and then it's just pushed into the stone itself.
This is divination. I mean, I can etch it out, but it's probably not gonna hurt us. It probably might just be like an alarm or something. I'll just etch it out.
It doesn't match the story that Matilda saw in the painting, right? Remember where Matilda was like, yes, the story that I'm seeing.
That's a very specific example. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, she'll scratch it out, knowing that that's how to get rid of it.
You scratch it out, and you just your magic awareness. You just see it like warble and dissipate as the magic no longer has the runic insignia to hold on to anymore.
Okay, now she's gonna open the door.
You pop it open, and immediately, as soon as you open the door, a rune on the inside of the home.
Oh no!
That I didn't see before.
You couldn't have seen it. It was on the inside of this wooden facade, but as it activates, you see a figure standing of Mystra herself.
Ah!
Oh shit!
And in a pre-recorded message, she says, "You have been selected for this incredibly important mission. Within the confines of this home, you will find everything you need. Ensure that you are enacting yourselves with the utmost discretion. Please." She points towards the left wall and says, "Beyond this doorway," you don't see a doorway, "you will find the robes that you will need to pass yourself off as members of the Lyrian Order, of the lowest accord, of course." Points to the other wall, no door. Beyond the doorway, on the eastern wall, you'll discover the location and the briefing. The mission begins within a month's time. Or within 3 months' time. Now, prepare yourselves. Ensure that you remain clandestine. And though it may pain you, leave your families. And speak nothing of this to anyone. The future of the technology of the city depends on it. And then the pre-recorded message goes away.
Oh no, did we scratch out the runes that open the doors to the different places?
Oh, maybe. Divination probably wouldn't have done that. Can I make an Arcana check to see if maybe I scratched out a rune that would have been
roll Arcana, and because you're actually roll Investigation, and because you're proficient in Arcana, I believe you're proficient in Arcana. Yes, you have advantage.
18?
From your best guess, the nature of the runes there would be to determine whether or not you guys are of these selected.
Okay, so it was good that we scratched that out. But if it was placed by Mistress, I don't know, maybe she knows that we scratched it out.
The future of technology in the city seems really important.
Yeah. What's the Lyrian Order? Do you know what that is?
Yeah, what is the Lyrian? Yeah.
I think, who here is proficient in history?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Jojo,
I am.
Jojo and Matilda, both of you can roll history with disadvantage.
I'm half proficient. I don't know if that matters.
You can roll it with disadvantage as well. Your knowledge is magically imparted upon you.
Can I guide myself? No, never mind. Sorry, I should have did that before.
Guidance wouldn't aid you in this instance.
Oh man.
17.
Jojo, the best you can muster is that the name is not unfamiliar to you. But you have little to no understanding of what this might be. And as the symbol, the Mistro once again appears and begins to once again go through the message pre-recorded, so long as people seem to be in the room, pointing towards the walls and dishing out this way for your information, this way for the things you will need, and once again disappearing, finding yourselves here. Cisco just goes, oh yeah.
I have a quick question about the history thing. Is there any way I could add pillow talk to that? Any of my clients talk about the Lumiere Order?
Ooh, what is your pillow talk?
+2, so that would bring it up to a 19.
A 19?
And then if I feel like that's also, actually, does this allow me to add it after I know the outcome? Hold on. Nope, it just says I can add +2 to an ability check or saving throw once per long rest. So I can do this after the outcomes.
Okay, so you want to add pillow talk, which adds +2, and then what ability is this that adds an additional +2?
The ring signet from the lady.
Ah, okay. Yes, you absolutely can do that whenever you wish. So that brings it up to a 21. With a 21, you are vaguely aware of the Lyrian Order. You are, as you understand it, they are some kind of mercenary group that at recent is like thugs, bandits, and just miscreants, but has within the last few years gained a lot of traction and clout. Beyond that, you're not entirely certain. They do seem to be relatively secretive, but some of your clients were basically bitching about them taking over an area near where they used to work, and that's why they had to come to Amaranth. They seem to be strong-arming a lot of people. That was the south, far to the south. Let me go ahead and bring up. In fact, in this, they probably would have shared a little bit of information.
So they're not a cult or anything. They're just like a mercenary group.
The Lyrian Order seems to be some kind of mercenary group.
Okay.
In this instance, far, far, far to the south of Amaranth is a place known as Southreach, Shining Vale. Southreach, south of the Shining Vale. Miles and miles and miles from Amaranth. A journey that takes you nearly across half the span of the continent itself. And this was the area just to the east of Valley that people were saying I used to work there. It was a great time. Oh man, you never seen anything like the Shining Vale, especially in the midst of high summer. We should go. In fact, I'm going to take you, Vincent. You and I are going. And they never really came back again.
He regales you guys with this tale of this gentleman that he worked with. Or not worked with, but was a client of his that told him this story.
And as Cisco,
the symbol look familiar? And she takes out the coin that Veyron and Mask left.
Cisco takes a gander at that and he says, "That's the they're somehow connected to the blooming blades. I've seen this symbol around, but some of the blooming blades they were protesting outside my shop, and some of them were wearing this symbol."
Remind me who the blooming blades are? Do I know?
Roll history.
I know, but I'm not sure if that is meta knowledge or not.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. You would know. So in this instance, Vincent,
Oh.
the Blooming Blades, just to share this information out loud, the Blooming Blades are a mercenary group as well, that are kind of Amaranthian loyalists. They existed before the dungeon was around, but in a different form, and in recent years, once again, have also been growing in clout, in that they are aggressively anti-dungeon. They are aggressively anti-Ashbond, and they believe that everything in regards to the dungeon is a perversion of Alticia's grace, the goddess of all things, and according to this kind of origin story of the human race.
And Mass gave you that coin in regards to what question did you ask, Candace?
I had asked basically if they knew anything about us being attacked in the Mask district or those drow assassins trying to kill my mom. They left this behind as if it was an answer.
It just seems that we have many enemies from all sides.
And now that we're in the actual cabin, in like the shed or sort of house thing, she's gonna do another magic awareness now that she can see inside the house.
You spot two sources of magic to either side of you, illusion magic, over the locations where Mr. had pointed, and where there may or may not be some doors obscured to look as though they are simply wooden walls. You spot a rune towards the back, a large rune, inlaid into the ground, you can spot it through the floorboards. I'm using your previous perception check here. Kind of just, the magic ignites itself with conjuration magic. Quite intricate, quite detailed. Cisco kind of, as you're looking and you're investigating the area, Cisco approaches and he's like, "All right, this is ridiculous." Pulls out the floorboards and is like, "Every penny, every copper of this is coming in. I'm gonna talk to that. You think you could just tear apart my house?" And as he pulls it open, you see easily like a 10-foot diameter, incredibly intricate spell circle that is inlaid within the floor here. And as you open it, a new appearance of Mystra appears behind you. Same rune that had been inscribed before, which, as far as you understand about the spell, should not be possible. As she appears, she says, "The time to travel is nigh, my friends. Step upon the circle and arrive within Iron Hall. But be prepared. Ensure that the entire group is here, and if any are missing, pray for them. Farewell." Disappears. You look upon a teleportation circle.
This might sound a little harsh, Jojo, but this seems to be some sort of family business your mom went on. In regards to any of the visions you have, I know your rank break has to do with her, but she didn't seem in danger, did she? She was being led by a profession of knights protecting her.
In the vision.
A dream, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, dream. I don't know. I think I'm gonna. There's an illusion covering that door, and she said that I could figure out information about the mission in there. I think I'm gonna spend the night here and see what I can learn.
Cisco turns towards you and says, "Sleep over. I'm in on it.
Yeah.
I'm down. We haven't done anything like this, and I'm really excited. I'd say get Yuka, but this seems to be like secret organization stuff. So I'm not in. Tell you what, though. If your mother's in danger, I forgive her. Make sure she knows that, especially if I don't know what's going on here, but let's just make sure all this stays between us and doesn't go to any inspectors. All right?
Yeah,
now,
for sure.
I say this with the utmost confidence. And in no way am facetious in saying this. Vincent, I really look forward to working with you. My book, honestly, it took so long to... And as the camera begins to pull out of of Cisco beginning to schmooze over his own work. That is where we will end today's session. And as we continue to pour into these mysteries, secret tunnel through the mountain, we will return next week. Thank you all so much for coming. And until next time, bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.